nu nọ trồng nu nọ trồng nhung pe trồng cho nó cho cho nể cho gì cái chữ cái lầu trồng tu chân sài dễ tu là tu lúa sẽ đời là một trò cho nể cho gì cho tu cho kỹ cho tu chân sài dễ sẽ đời cho lên cho tu pe tuần được nọ nu nọ giờ pe tua khi ở pe trồng mông hoa sò bữa từng khâu đi lúc chi cho xong cái nọ cái hậu cái nọ cái chữ cái và cái hư khi luôn nâng chia để chi cho xong ta chỉ nói một đôi giá tạm đây thiệt tuột khi bên mong luôn nâng giá đầu ta là chỉ ít chia chục quay sang chục đầu là chặt luôn nó nọ cho nên ta bên tuột chỉ trồng luôn nọ bên tuột khi cái cả cái hú khi cái nơi cái hú cái nơi cái rồng khi là nhau ít chia chỉ một mao khi là nhau ít chia chỉ một gần khi là nhau đào cái chữ khi là nhau đào cái lầu khi là nhau đào lúa dê khi là nhau đào lúa giò cả tận đến nào bé đào trổ bé trồng phong đào trổ trồng phong gì tới đó nhau lúa dê lúa giò là nhau hoặc cứ hoặc tiêu hoặc phong hoặc gì mỗi chi chỉ rồi ra tận đến đó yo cú chia là cú chỉ chia bị tu bị kỳ cú chỉ chia bị niệm bị gì chơi cú cho bên trồng phong sao được cho lên cho tu mấy cái nọ cái hậu cái nọ cái chú cái giờ cái gì cái gần đó cái là cái luôn cho hữu tí xí là trâu trồng cái tí này trà mông cho được cho tụi nhát tụi ý chân trà đồng hoa sao đó
Hello, 50 years, my day, Monday. So thanks God for bringing us here.
Good morning. Christine Koo, who will lead us in the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. God bless you all.
That's Christine Koo, and she's from the Siab Tuaj area, and she is a music educator. You know, I'm so proud. We've had so many Hmong educators out there too, and she is one of them. So thank you, Christine. Next, I would like to introduce for us Wausau Mayor Doug Dinning, who will be up here to provide us with remarks.
Thank you, Macy. And Macy mentioned several prominent Hmong community members here, and I'd like to also put a few out there that have influenced me since I've been mayor and since I've been in Wausau. First Hmong leader that I've had an opportunity to meet, Tuaj Nyob. Tom came to my house back in 2012 when he was working on the Hmong Lao Veterans Memorial that now stands prominently on the county courthouse yard. Thank you, Long. And Long had some pizza 3 times over at Sam's Pizza, former leaders of the clans. Lada Jean here today, appreciate your friendship. Of course, Macy Hart, homegrown. Yao Yang, we've got Yao Yang, former city council member. Mary Tao, former city council member, city of Wausau. And my friend Xyoo, I didn't see him, Hmong veteran leader. So it's another great, glorious day here to be in Wausau. So good afternoon. Nasham Zunxia. I said that right? Thank you for joining us today. Wausau Hmong 50-year celebration here at Central Wisconsin Convention and Expo Center. It's a great, glorious day to be in Wausau, and even more glorious to see the friendly faces here of the Hmong community celebrating 50 years. 50 years ago, in 1976, the first Hmong refugees began arriving in our city, bringing with them extraordinary courage, resilience, and hope for a new life. Today, we proudly mark this golden anniversary, 50 years of Hmong presence, perseverance, and profound contributions to the fabric of Wausau and Central Wisconsin. Many of you know the powerful story that led to that arrival. Just 1 year earlier, in May 1975, May 14th, 1975 was the final airlift that evacuated Hmong Lao soldiers and their families from Long Tang, Laos to the Nam Hong refugee camp in Thailand. We commemorated that last year at the Highlands, that 50th anniversary at the end of that war. This marked a heartbreaking and the secret war where more than 19,000 Hmong soldiers under the leadership of General Vang Pao fought bravely alongside U.S. forces. They provided critical intelligence, rescued downed American pilots, and defended strategic positions, often at the ultimate personal cost. The sacrifices were immense. An estimated 17,000 Hmong soldiers, 50,000 civilians were killed or wounded. After the war, many faced persecution, forcing them to leave everything they had behind in search of freedom and safety. Wisconsin, and especially our community here in Wausau, became a new home for so many of these families. former Mayor Tipple once said, and as I see the American flag here, these Hmong veterans were American soldiers before they were Americans. And I see that the truth in that again and again when I attend Hmong funerals in the area. And unfortunately, 50 years since their departure or the end of that war, many of them are in that age group where we're losing more and more every year. And that American flag drape over their caskets reminds me that our Hmong veterans were American soldiers before they were Americans. Their unwavering commitment to the ideals of freedom and democracy set a standard of patriotism that continues to inspire us all. That same spirit of loyalty, courage, and resilience carried Hmong people through the challenges of resettlement from those first pioneering families, including Lu Van Tao, father of our planning committee president, La Tao. We have witnessed 50 remarkable years of growth. You have raised strong families, built thriving businesses, excelled in education, contributed to our civic life, and enriched our cultural landscape in countless ways. The Hmong community has not only survived, but has truly helped make Wausau a better and more vibrant place for everyone. So this afternoon's programming beautifully reflects that journey and your impact. Today you'll have an opportunity to explore Hmong businesses in the Hmong Business Expo, which showcases the entrepreneurship and economic vitality of Hmong-owned businesses that continue to strengthen our local economy. You will also experience Community Impact Exhibition, generously supported by the B.A. and Esther Greenman Foundation, Common Good Philanthropies in Marathon County. This exhibit highlights the leaders, organizations, and initiatives that have shaped the Hmong experience here and strengthen our entire community. We are especially grateful to our employees, our employers, community partners, donors, and the neighbors for being here today. Your presence reminds us that the story of the last 50 years is a shared success, one built on welcome, partnership, and mutual respect. So as we reflect on this milestone, let us remember the words we affirmed at the High Ground Veterans Memorial last year. Never again shall one generation of veterans abandon another. And today we also have B. Yang here from California. He rode a bike last year cross country to commemorate the 50 from California to I think Nashville and then to Wisconsin to commemorate that end of the war 50 years ago. So today, as we affirm our commitment to honor the service and sacrifices of our Hmong veterans, and to ensure their stories and the stories of their families are told and remembered for generations to come. 50 years is more than a number. It is living proof that the Hmong spirit, resilience in the face of adversity, grateful for the opportunity, and deeply committed to building a brighter future for the next generation right here in Wausau. So let us celebrate this afternoon with pride, with joy, with gratitude, and a renewed sense of unity. Thank you all for being here on this special day. Welcome to the Wausau Lub 50-year celebration. It's a great and glorious day to be in Wausau. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Dini. Thank you for your words of your remarks, your well wishes, and providing us just a reminder of just how far we've come as well and how long we've been here in this community and the contributions that the Hmong have made to this area. Next, I would like to have requested or asked State Representative Francesca Hong come and join us at the stage here. She will provide us a few remarks as well.
Good afternoon, everyone. One more time. Good afternoon, everyone. It is a joyous day. Let's bring the energy. I'm State Representative Francesca Hong. I'm joining you here from Madison, and it's really great to be back in Wausau to celebrate in community. You know, I first want to thank all of the volunteers, the amazing folks in the planning committee who made this event possible today, our elected officials, our educators, and community leaders. I want to recognize the elders and our veterans as well. Thank you so much for your service. So, I want to mention first that I think too often our Hmong communities are defined by struggles or defined by stories of struggle. And I want to emphasize today that the story should be of extraordinary resilience, of strength, and of love. And it's actually this refugee love that I'd like to talk about today. It's a kind of love that rebuilds a life, a future in the face of displacement, love passed down from grandparents to grandchildren, and one that the children carry forward with strength. It's often love in communities that sustains when too often the world fails us with a world without love. And I have to say first and foremost that when I was elected as the first Asian American in the state legislature, it was the Hmong community who gave me confidence and strength to continue this work across the state. Your radical welcoming has made me a better state representative and a better person. And you know, we often talk about history as something behind us, but I think for too many folks, it's history that stays with them and lingers. And it's a haunting that is too often felt by our Hmong communities. And I think it's important that it is not just the communities of war that face those consequences, but it's all of us. You know, a young Hmong person once said, and I learned about what they told their teacher, that it is, to be haunted is an honor, because it means we remember, because it calls us to account, because it reminds us that we are all still capable of hope. I was also reminded the other day of a story told to me by the incredible Dr. May C. Chow. She grew up in Fox Valley. She told me about a local farmer who leased land to her parents when they were growing vegetables, and they could take those vegetables to the farmer's market. And over time, those vegetables made their way into shelves of a small-town grocery store. And without even realizing it, her family became a part of something larger, a local economy, a shared sense of community, and a sense of belonging. And this too is the Hmong story. And I come from the hospitality background. I came up through restaurants. And I think a lot about the Hmong farmers that I've met over the years. How at the farmer's market, it was elders who were also working and with their kids that they brought to the market stands. And I remember seeing the kids and hearing them help translate. And it reminded me of the times that I would help translate for my mom when she was working on her essays for school. So I think it's important that we tell the full story of the Hmong community here in Wausau and in Wisconsin. That I do not want the history of the Hmong people to only be reduced to their trauma. And I don't think we can separate it from broader forces that have shaped it. The Hmong story is not just about suffering and struggle, but it is about what it means to be human. It is about rebuilding after war. It is about creating life, meaning, and the hope in the aftermath of violence. And it is also a reminder of something that we cannot ignore, that governments have the power to do immense harm, and that they have the responsibility to lessen suffering of their people and to eradicate that suffering eventually. that governments must pursue repair, reconciliation, and justice. So I'm a community organizer, so I have to ask and give you all an action item. What I ask of you in this moment is to say clearly and without hesitation in your communities, no more bombing of other countries, no more militarization of other countries, no more war. Because refugees are not born, they are made, they are shaped by decisions, by politicians, by conflicts that do not just begin in the battlefields, but it also is in the way that we see one another. And if we are to truly honor the history, we must also shape a different future. We must learn to see one another fully in our most authentic selves. And we must reject the idea that anyone is a stranger and anyone should be unwelcome, that we do not deserve and should not have a politics of government rooted in division, but one that cares and centers our shared humanity. And today I think too many in the Hmong community face health disparities and economic insecurity, but this part is not actually just the Hmong story, this is an American story. And it reminds us of the importance of policies that we need to secure economic security for all families, and that we need to have a safety net that ensures that everyone can have a good quality of life and a life of dignity. So today, as we commemorate amazing 50 years of the Hmong in this community, in Wausau, let's not just make it a recognition. I hope it can be the beginning of a much different, richer, complex conversation. The beginning of taking lead and seeing the Hmong community as an example of a way that we can build a more just and a more caring society. Because ultimately, that care is a way that we are going to honor one another. That radical love of the Hmong community has shown me. I want us to take that and share it and show it with all of our fellow Wisconsinites. I say again that it was this community that helped me feel welcome, that I was meant to be doing the work in politics and to help not just represent the Hmong people, but even the broader Asian American diaspora. But it is the Hmong people here in Wisconsin whose leadership I shared. So today, let's make it not just about recognizing our shared interdependence, but our commitment to a future where each one of us can flourish. Thank you so much again for having me here today, and congratulations on 50 years of amazing heritage of sharing and being the part of Wisconsin history that we've always needed.
church.
You think about future, you think about you become somebody.
You brought with you the brilliant threads of the pandao, the flower cloth, an art form that carries history, story, and soul in every stitch. You brought your music, your language, your deep reverence for family and elders, your spiritual traditions, and your extraordinary agricultural knowledge. These are not really spicy stuff. Also, we've been over to Benai, which is a restaurant over in Minneapolis. It's by Chef Yin Yang. It's an excellent restaurant if you get over there. The restaurant was identified as one of the 50 best restaurants by the New York Times. And he's also a James Beard award-winning chef. So make sure you get over to Benai.